Yo, every time I'm fired up for them props, I'm a glutton. Don't do this shit for nothing. So when you push the button, you know what to expect. Fuego, no discussion. Anybody talking down on the kid, you hush. I'm talking anybody. It don't matter who it is, nigga, they'll get body. Better mind they fucking biz, cause what I embody. Made a monster out of prayers for your mama or your sis, for your brother or your bitch, nigga. You ain't fucking with me now, eat a dick and die slow. Keep that energy forever, no changing up once I am on.
Ahoy hoy, again, doing another video, and just gonna wing it like I usually do. So I guess first off, I want to say that all I want to do is be great. That's all I want to do. Ever since I was young, that's all I ever wanted. I won't say it was one of the first words I ever learned, but it was one of the words that I automatically knew what it meant when it was being said to me. You know, I knew that being great, being awesome or cool was something positive. You know, of course, great can also be used in a negative light. Like you could say something has been greatly depreciated. And you know, that's a thing right there. But other than that, you know, I've just always wanted to be great. I've always wanted to excel at whatever I put my mind to. And you know, this brings me back around to the point of getting feedback. Yeah, I know, beating a dead horse, saying the same thing in damn near every video, but every time I get around to talking about it, I never seem to explain it right. Because like I said, a lot of the times when I've been saying stuff, I've been very kind of irritated, agitated, so I just end up venting. Right now, I'm in a pretty okay mind state. A few things still bothering me, but not as bad as things were last week. So, you know, I'm pretty calm. So, what I really want to say is that, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing to seek validation. It all depends on what you're seeking validation for. You know, people will often tell you, don't worry about what other people think, and, you know, just live for you, do what you want to do, whatever makes you happy. And that's true. But it all depends on what it is that they're talking about. I mean, when it comes to something that you're doing to your appearance or a path you want to take in life, yeah, you know, fuck what other people think. Do what you want to do. I mean, it's a lot of things I don't like I always say, but it doesn't really matter to those people who do those things. You know, it's irrelevant, because they're going to do whatever makes them happy, whatever helps them get, you know, enjoyment out of life. Just to be simple about it. But when it comes to things I'm doing right now, like, you know, the writing, the art, music, I feel like it's kind of stupid, you know, and ignorant of people, tone deaf actually, to tell somebody not to worry about what other people think. These are things that all hinge on people feeling some type of way. The success part of it anyway. I mean, if you're just doing it for a hobby, something to get, you know, stress out, you know, something that's cathartic. I believe I said that word right. If you're using it for catharsis, you know, then okay. It doesn't really matter what anybody thinks. You know, as far as making music goes, you could get over an instrumental and just scream if you're doing it for the purpose of your own self-fulfillment, you know. But if you want to have a career out of something, it matters what other people think. Feedback matters a whole lot. It's how people improve. Now, of course, I've ran across people who aren't so much concerned with improving as much as they're just making something that people enjoy. And that's cool too. But me, I've never been content to stay at one level. You know, I always like to move up. I like to evolve. There's always room to grow. Now, of course, in certain aspects, I've become stagnant. You know, like even in my personal life, there are things that I just don't entertain anymore. Like throughout the years, I've always been varied in the music I listen to, but nowadays I don't really want to hear a lot of stuff. Some things have just become blase blah for me, and I guess it's a thing about me that's fucked up, but it's just the way I've always been. When it seems like too many people are into something, I want no part of it, and that's just the way I've always been. I just have no interest in things that everybody likes. And I won't say I have no interest in things, but certain things. Like, obviously there are certain, there's certain anime and, light novels, certain rappers, singers that I like, social media personalities, movies, things like that other people enjoy. But then there are others that I just don't want shit to do with and don't care to hear about, get tired of hearing about, it's just shit like that. Now, anyway, back to the validation part. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with seeking validation, like I said, if you really want to know that you're headed in the right direction with something, that everything is sounding correct, and maybe validation isn't the right word that I'm looking for, but on that same note, I feel like being validated as a writer, artist, musician, or really rapper in my case, that I feel like being validated in that aspect is a-okay. Of course, everybody doesn't have to like what you do, and I'm well aware of that. I've always been aware of that. If anything, it took me too long to be comfortable with it, because I used to always have people telling me that you should try to do this and you should try to do that, you'll get more people. And I was always resistant. I was always like, I don't want to do what other people are doing. But there was a side of me that tried to do it just because of what people said to me. Then, like I said, later on, I realized I don't need to do this. I don't need to do what other people are doing. I need to just do what I want to do. And that's when I started calling myself NFE, or adding that onto my name, rather. Because I'm not for everyone. And this aspect is not just with the music I make. It's with my art. It's with my writing. It's with me as a person. I'm not meant to be somebody that everybody is going to enjoy, and I'm not meant to be somebody that everybody is going to want to be cool with. And that's cool with me, I don't have to be friends with everybody. But of course, on that, again, on the flip side of that, by being that way, it opens up a doorway where some people that I was already cool with might not want to be cool with me anymore, and then I end up feeling a little fucked up about that. Or people that I know that were into things I was doing, like I said, end up not being into it anymore. And so, I get a little conflicted because, like I said, everybody doesn't have to like what you do, but at the same time, you have people who have been into what you're doing, but then when you make little changes, or in my personal opinion, it seems like when I grew as a rapper, because this is the main subject I'm gonna get on. It seems like when I started to grow as a rapper, more people started to leave me alone. Like when I was oh shit, I hit that. I'm trying to. Anyway, when I was just doing stuff and just making little raps here and there and recording things, like before I decided to buy myself a mic and really get serious, it seemed like I had more people trying to listen to me. And maybe they were interested in the effort. But once I actually said, hey, I'm about to kick this up a notch. It seemed like some people stepped away. And of course, I do recall, a few people telling me that I had changed, as a rapper, and that I wasn't how I used to be. And that's because, I had changed as a person. The things I believed in back then and that I would rap about, I don't necessarily believe in now. Or I still believe in them, but I don't believe in rapping about them. Like, to me, I feel like people look to rappers too much to be their teachers and, I guess, guides or something through life. And that's okay to an extent, because we're all looking for guidance. I still am. I'm 33 and I still look for guidance in certain places. But the thing is, I feel like I've been a little bit more smart about it in the way I, go about seeking it. Some people might say, oh, it's wrong to look to the people on YouTube or wherever, but it's all about who you're looking to on YouTube. While I don't agree with everything Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore say, that's Breaking Brown and Tone Talks, by the way, the founders of the ADOS movement, I still watch them, and I didn't go to them because I wanted to be brainwashed or something. Because as it was told to me when I first got involved with the ADOS stuff, or not when I first got involved with it, but when I really got serious about it, it was told to me that I was acting like I was in a cult. And that's not how it's supposed to be, but I guess I did get a little bit too gung-ho. It's just because I wanted the people around me to really to get involved and to get, hype about black empowerment and about, having, putting these politicians' feet to the fire for a transformative, black agenda. Simply put, I'm repeating the same words they said, but I don't know any other way to put it. So I just have to say it verbatim in a sense. A transformative black agenda. The fight for reparations. I've always believed in that. And at one point in time, I kind of turned on that whole aspect when I was trying to be a conservative. And I realized that wasn't really me trying to be a conservative, I look back on the stuff I did and said at that time. And, I realized that this light is killing me just for the, as an A-side. But anyway, I look back at the things I said when I was, going down that road of being a conservative, and even when I thought being a libertarian was something I wanted to do. And after really getting to know a lot of libertarians and watching a person, the guy Eric July, I realized I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be anything like that. And I'm not really a Democrat, to be honest, but I will admit a lot of my views are more left, than they are anything else. I find that as time goes by, I lose more and more of the conservative views. I think the only thing I would say I'm conservative about, and it's not really in a political sense, I'm conservative about hip-hop. And that's because I feel like it's changed so much, and for me, it's enjoyable, but barely enjoyable. What I mean to say is that I only get enjoyment out of the stuff that's underground. It used to be that I could pick from both. I could pick from the mainstream and I could pick from the underground or indie scene. And I liked them, I liked them both equally. Enjoyed them. But a lot of the people that I was listening to, I can't stand anymore. Like, I can't remember the last time I really enjoyed anything by Future. Well, I can remember. And that was when Mask Off came out. And I remember I was crazy about Joyner, and then it seemed like he changed. I remember I hated Logic at first, and then I got into him, and then that phase went away. At one point in time, like I said, I did like J. Cole, but his music ended up changing too, or rather the way he did it. Because, he's always kind of hit the same topics and, whatnot. the whole conscious thing, but I could listen to it at first, like when he did like the three really, Truly Yours. I think this was called Truly Yours, if not Sincerely Yours, but I think it was Truly Yours. I had to check my computer. But when he did those EPs, you know, I liked those. And I even liked Born Sinner. You know, I actually did enjoy that album. But everything after that has never really been a selling point for me. I check out stuff because I always check out things. And I kind of regret it afterwards that I listened to certain things. Like I remember listening to The Baby and Megan Thee Stallion. And while there were certain songs that I can admit, you know, had me bobbing my head and I like some of the things they said, yeah, they're not people that I would just say are in my faves or anything. But I definitely give Megan props that she can rap. I just don't like the subject matter that much, or at all, really. You know, and I've gotten way off topic of what I really was supposed to be talking about. This is the way I do, and that's why I said I'm never gonna be trying to do one particular subject. The only time I did a particular subject was the video I made for Janae. And that was the only time that I really pretty much stayed in the same realm. I've been jumping around, but let me just get off of that and just get back to the point. Like I said, validation. I feel like validation is, you know, I feel like shit. Okay. I'm trying to keep this thing from blinding me. Got spots in my eyes right now. Anyway, I'm trying to, you know, I'm stuck on what I just said. Anyway, like I said, validation. I don't feel validation is bad, but like I said, it's all about what you want validation for. Validation about as far as your looks and appearance go, I feel like that shouldn't matter, but it should matter to the extent, like, I guess you're in a relationship. You know, you want the person that you're with to be attracted to you and to like the things that you're doing to your appearance, you know, or you want them to like you the way you are, whichever way it goes. So validation in that aspect matters, you know, when it comes to looks, I mean. But I feel like relationships, validation is still needed regardless. I mean, some people should say that you should just know that your partner feels a certain way, or, you know, but that's not something you're going to automatically know, because, I mean, from experience, people's feelings can change, and sometimes they won't tell you till like the last minute. So, you know, or I won't say the last minute, but I guess till stuff gets too much and they get overwhelmed. And I've had that happen a lot. But I've also had people who lied to me, you know, just because like one of my exes did tell me that she pretty much lied to me and wanted to keep me into her because she didn't want me to be with anybody else. Because she told me I had qualities that, you know, made me a good boyfriend, but I wasn't her type, you know. And I'm pretty sure she meant physically, you know. I wasn't physically attractive to her. But at the same time, she didn't want to let go of those qualities that she, you know, saw in me that she couldn't find in anybody else. And eventually she found those qualities in other people. But like I said, it's just the way things go. And, you know, but still, I feel like validation, I guess I could say it's a slippery slope. It all depends on the reason. And for me, I seek validation when it comes to my writing, my art, and my music. And, you know, I just want to know that I'm headed in the right direction, and that, honestly, I really just want to know that I'm making stuff that the people who say that they're fans enjoy. And that possibly, if somebody else comes along, that they read or see or hear, you know, what I'm creating, and they like it as well. Now, like, as far as my art goes, I know I'm still very rookie-ish with it, but I have gotten better. I have grown. Actually, I've grown remarkably since last year. Now, if I hadn't stopped drawing, you know, after high school, or rather during high school, because I was off and on with it. But if I hadn't stopped drawing then, I'm pretty sure I would be way better, now, But again, I stopped to focus on music. And same thing with the writing stories. I stopped focusing on it just to go full time with the rapping. And even with rap, even with getting better at that and getting better at writing songs and making, full projects, I still am not where I want to be. I'm still not creative enough. Can't get the words out. Creative enough in that aspect. I'm still not creative enough in that aspect to myself. But I am eternally or perpetually, hard on myself. I am my biggest critic. And regardless whether somebody tells me that they like something or they love something, I still feel like there's more that can be done. There's something I can change, something I can do better. And so, that's why, though, it's important to me to get feedback. I'm not going to be able to, I guess, what can I say? Because, see, I see so many people who just do stuff and they just do it and they just go out there. But I'm kind of a perfectionist. So before I really take any type of step, because there was something that, let me put this in perspective. Let me set the scene up. In my last video, I talked about being part of this anthology that this young lady on DeviantArt reached out to me about. It's called Project Zeus. We're each, given a character from Greek mythology, and really just from mythology, period, but Greek mythology is the main base. So, we're giving somebody to write a story about and to add it to the anthology. Of course, like she said, we have plenty of time to work on everything and to get it together, because over the years we'll come together, collaborate, and help each other edit, stuff. But me, I'm a person that I edit as I go. I don't just write like I used to do that. I used to write stuff, then try to edit later, and I'd realize that I had way too many mistakes once I actually finished. And so that's why now I'm like, I can't do that anymore. So I edit as I go. And, with everybody, with a lot of the others in there, they've finished their stories. They didn't write as much as I did either. And, me, I haven't finished mine yet, but I'm close to it. But I'm still, going through the motions with it and making sure everything sounds right before I really debut it. Before I wrap it up and debut it. And this speaks to the same level as I was talking about with my art, because we were talking about drawing and everything, and I told her how with a lot of my characters that I'm working on, I haven't really drawn everybody. I've only been working on certain people. Mainly it's just been Chantrice, Dexter, and Sinead. Those are the main ones I've been trying to get together, because I feel like once I actually get them down pat and drawn the way I want them to look, because I've done I don't know how many concepts of Chantrice. It's only been 2 concepts of Sinead, and there have been 3 concepts as far as Dexter go, although one of them didn't really make it to a finished stage, and the second one did. The third one I haven't finished yet, but I'm close to it. But anyway, she told me I should stop worrying about, my art being perfect, and that I should just draw, because she was talking about how her skills aren't, perfect, but she still draws her characters. And I understand that, and I respect that. But for me, I couldn't let myself put anything out there, and it's not the quality that I want it to be. Because like I said, one's trash is another's treasure. So somebody could like what I did just because of the effort. But for me, it's more than effort, First impression, lasting impression. And with some of the art I posted up last year, of course, some people might have it in their mind that they aren't really interested in seeing, any more art or seeing me grow as an artist. Then there might be people who are watching but just not saying anything. And as a side note, that's something that annoys me, that people don't say stuff that they might be like, oh yeah, I saw what you were doing, that was dope. I feel like if you thought it was dope, why didn't you like the picture, or why didn't you make a comment? Now obviously nobody is obligated to do anything like that, but just for me, it feels like if you really feel that way, let me know. Because sometimes I feel like I'm putting in a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, and it's not being recognized. And that's my main thing. I just want it to be recognized. I want it to be noticed. And whether it's not good, kind of good, or superb, I just like to know. Because like I said, the way I've always been, somebody tell me a certain thing, like when I was in high school and the dude, pretty much roasted me in front of everybody about my rapping skills. I went into like a kind of hyperbolic chamber and started working to get better, and that was my main thing. I wanted to improve. I wanted to show that guy that I was taking, rapping and hip hop serious. I wasn't about to just let somebody tell me that I was whack and that I had a long way to go, which I still did have a long way to go, but I wasn't just about to just sit there and take somebody embarrassing me in front of everybody like that. But it's a whole pride thing with me, I guess you could say. And that for me, if somebody says they don't like something and they point out what they don't like about it, I'm going to do what I can to improve that or to change it. Now, sometimes it's hard because there are things about my stories and even my art that I don't want to change. And it was the same thing with my music. Like I remember years ago when I used to go over to dude Draco house and we were recording a song I wrote called Still Dreaming. And the way it went was, what is it? Damn, I want to ride, let my music bump. In a clean whip, teach them all how to stunt, but I have no, it was some kind of way I did it, but with every word that I said at the end of the hook, it was like, oh shit, okay. Phone was kind of leaning over and I made it fall anyway. There you go again. Okay. Shit. I guess I got it straight. Anyway, so anyway, with every word that I said in the hook, when I was like, damn, I want to ride, he told me to say ride again right after it, but kind of delay it. So it's like, damn, I want to ride, let my music bump, and when it was actually recorded and I listened to it, that was actually dope. I was surprised because with him, being younger than me and me, I guess you say rapping longer than he had really been rapping, but for him to actually make that adjustment and it really did sound dope, and it sounded better and improved the song, I was surprised. And that's why sometimes, I realize that I do have to be open to suggestions, and that's why I enjoy feedback. Now, like I said, sometimes I've gotten feedback and it's been disheartening, but I always come back for it, even if come back from it, even if it's made me kind of depressed in the process. I come back from that, and I'm reinvigorated. But I guess I can't say, not for lack of trying. I'm always trying to get feedback, but it's just hard to get people to be like that, to like or to be like everybody else around me. I won't say everybody else, but to be like certain people around me. It is hard to get people to do that. I wish I could find people that were just like the other folks that I know, or not just like them, but I guess people that were more consistent. Now, maybe in some aspects I work on so much and it probably makes some people burnt out with giving me feedback, and I apologize about that. But I'm an extremely creative person. That's the way I've always been, and it's always meant, what can I say, a whole lot to me to know that what I'm doing is liked or admired. But like I said, this is something that I'm beating a dead horse over. But it's just important to me. I want my talents, my work, I want it validated. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. Like I said, there are things that don't need to be validated in life. and there are things to do. Like I said, it all depends on the terms or the situation. And we're trying to have a career in these different things, especially, like I said, as far as writing and music goes. Because I don't even know if I really want to have a career as an artist anymore, but I want to be able to do my own art. So I don't know. It could grow into that, depending on how much I grow as far as an artist. But still, with pursuing a career, feedback is important. Validation is important. To know that everything that you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into, sometimes literally, other times figuratively, to know that that is, like I said, being recognized. Whether it's recognized in a negative way or a positive way. Just to know is everything. Because it means that you're making some kind of impact. Because if somebody can nitpick at it, it means that they're noticing, even if they want to be a hater. Like I said, everything isn't always hate. But yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to talk about. There were some other things, but I figure I'll save those for another time. So till the next time, like I said, I love the validation. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, broken record, but that's how I am. So till next time, peace.
Yo, every time I'm fired up for them props, I'm a glutton. Don't do this shit for nothing. So when you push the button, you know what to expect. Fuego, no discussion. Anybody talking down on the kids, you hush. I'm talking anybody. It don't matter who it is, nigga, they'll get body. Better mind they fucking biz, cause what I embody. Made a monster out of prayers for your mama, or your sis, for your brother, or your bitch, nigga. You ain't fucking with me now, eat a dick and die slow. Keep that energy forever, no changing up once I am on.